Hey, this is Pillow Talk Mamas with Anamari and Troy. I'm Anamari.
I'm Troy.
Please like, comment, and share this video. If you haven't already, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future episodes. If you're new, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're already family, welcome back. Now let's get started with our segments of the week and get into this chat. All right, our first segment is stress of the week. Been pretty calm.
It has.
So just gonna make one up here. I did have to get an MRI done, which honestly it started off a little stressful.
Mhm.
I've never had one done, and of course people explain it to you. If you're claustrophobic, it's not going to be fun. There's a loud knocking noise which might rack at your nerves, but
Yeah.
I fell asleep.
I've never fallen asleep on it.
Granted, I didn't sleep at all the night before.
Yeah.
So that's one. And then two, I knew nothing about MRIs going in at all.
Mhm.
And even from what, friends and family told me, you have to experience it, I guess, for yourself.
Yeah.
But she was like, "Do you want some music?" I was like, "Sure." What genre? I was like, "Oh, I thought they were just gonna like give me classical music, like you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit." And then she asked me what year. I was like, "Y'all fancy."
I've never had that experience ever.
Yeah, so I had a 90s R&B MRI, and I made it 2 songs in and fell asleep.
That's impressive.
Yeah. I will say that like I don't know, it's like you can feel the vibrations, I guess, of the magnetic pulling on your body, which is just an odd sensation. It wasn't horrible, but I think that like kind of halfway woke me up, and then it would subside and I would go back to sleep. I'd hear the knocking and be like, "Oh yeah, getting an MRI," and then fall back asleep. So maybe my stress of the week is doubling as LOL of the week again.
I didn't even feel stressful. You fell asleep to relaxing 90s music.
I was nervous going. I didn't know what to expect. And I know it's not anything to be scared of, but just experiencing something you've never experienced before, my heart was beating so fast, like coming in, and she was explaining stuff to me. I have to take off my glasses, which is stressful. I know that sounds funny, but I need them.
Yes.
I'm attached to them, so taking them off in public is weird for me. So moving on, we actually do have our Q&A this week.
Yeah.
And then we'll get into our topic. So the first question was, when did you know you wanted to be a mom?
I think I realized it when I was probably about 15 or 16 that I knew I wanted to be a mom.
Mine was, if not similar, younger.
I don't know what triggered it. I don't know what it was in my mind. I was like, "Oh, Mom, that sounds fun." It's like,
I don't know if I thought of fun. I thought of the love. Like, I swore up and down I was going to get married to my high school sweetheart. We were going to date through high school, date through college, get married, have our babies, white picket fence, like all that weirdo, dreamy stuff. Which I was gonna say some of which came true, and obviously not all of it.
All of it pretty much.
It didn't all come true.
It pretty much all came true.
Well, we'll save that, the details, because that's gonna be a future episode. We'll save that, but it did partially come true. I will say that. But I've always said when people ask me that question, earlier than I needed to be thinking about
Absolutely.
it is when I wanted.
That's also I was a little nervous to even say what age. Like, shouldn't have been
don't be nervous. Transparency here. Transparency. No judgment. Just honesty and transparency.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Honestly, I really think it was younger than 15 for me, to be honest, because I had a late birthday, so I started high schow at 13. And I think I was thinking about it at 13, not to get pregnant, but just thinking about like, I can't wait. Yeah. So for sure it was younger. Were you scared your first time going into labor?
No.
Really?
I was not.
Not
I was just so excited
with either one.
With either one, I was just
Oh,
excited to
wow.
meet them and just get it over with because I was tired of pregnancy.
Pregnancy is
the worst.
unpopular opinion ghetto. Some people do have good pregnancies.
I did not.
But yeah, I didn't.
No, the first time I feel like I was as hot and miserable through that first trimester. And then the second, I felt like I never got over the symptoms of the first trimester. Third, I just got big and heavy and sweaty, and I was just a miserable mess. I was like a mammoth. I was like, I'm tired of this. She's heavy. I don't want to do this no more. Then labor came around, and I'm like, this is painful, but she's coming out, so that's okay. And I was in labor for 32 hours with her, so I was just like, oh, I just want to get this over with. Like, I wasn't scared. I'm like, I'm just ready.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the delivery was pretty easy once you get to that stage. It was pretty easy. She ripped me.
Really?
She ripped me. So
you didn't tell me that.
Yes.
We'll talk about that more in detail later because that's another topic for later. I will say when I was younger, like my preconception of that whole experience, I've always said I'm not afraid of pregnancy and labor. I'm afraid of delivery. I'm like a whole human being coming out of your body. Like that sounds so painful.
Yeah.
And it was the exact opposite. Again, briefly, because we'll talk about this in more detail later. My labor, I couldn't tell you how long my labor was because I was in like false labor kind of for about 2 months. No, 1 month with my first because it started at 7 months and he came early. And then about 2 months again, around the 7-month mark, my body was like, let's do this. And I was like, calm down. We have time left.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will say with my second, I ended up having a procedure. I carried him long enough to have a procedure done that kind of moves things along. We'll get more details about that later. So that definitely helped, but it also made it more intense when I went into labor than with my first. With my first, my body was just like, yeah, we're doing this. The doctors were like, oh, we'll give you some medication, stop your contractions. My body was like, yeah, no, we're doing this.
Yeah, we're ready.
So, just to wrap all of that up, once I get my epidural, which it did scare me. I've seen a spinal tap done before, and I was like, that's the needle. So I was terrified, but I was like, it has to be less than what I'm feeling right now.
Yeah.
So I did it, and when I got pregnant with my second, I was like, oh, I'm getting it.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm just going to go ahead and say it now. Like, before it's too late, I'll be letting them know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I was less nervous with my second because I had my first.
Right.
But every pregnancy for every woman is different. So I had regular nerves, nothing too bad. Do you wish you had a sister or brother? Which comes from somebody who knows us personally. I do not have any sisters.
I don't have any brothers. So.
Right. So you can start.
No, I don't wish that I had a brother. I mean, me and my sisters are so far apart in age as it is. Like, I don't really know what it's like to have a full-blown sibling, if that makes any sense. We're 7 years apart each.
Oh, wow.
So from the oldest to the youngest, I'm middle.
The size difference.
So it's 7 years from the oldest and then 7 years from me and the youngest, which means 14 years between the oldest and the youngest.
Yeah.
So there's a huge age gap. So we all kind of had our only child moments in a sense. Because like, I'm coming up, like by the time I'm 7, the oldest one's 14. So she's already in high school doing her own thing. And the baby's coming in. This is like, so, but I don't need to add a brother into the mix or anything like that. Like,
that's true.
I don't know what difference it would have really made either.
That was going to be my answer.
Depending on, I guess, where
in
line he falls.
When I was younger, I did wish that I had a sister. But as I gained wisdom over the years, I realized, first of all, God does everything for a reason. And second of all, I don't know the difference, like you mentioned. And I love my brother. Shout out to you. You better be watching. Yeah, I don't know the difference. And honestly, my mom has one brother and 2 sisters. And she's like, with sisters, there's bickering and borrowing clothes that may or may not have been given permission for, all kinds of things, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I had the upbringing and the start to my life that I was meant to have, which is with a brother. So I did, but I don't wish that I had a sister.
Yeah, for me, a brother wouldn't have made a difference. Like if maybe he was an older brother, maybe things would be different. But he could have also been crazy and got on my nerves just as much as the older sister. So
that's true. They're very protective. If you had an older brother and he was like, "You're dating who? You're doing what? Going where?" They might have been like,
maybe.
But my brother wasn't like that.
My sister was like that, though.
Oh, she was?
Yeah, so...
Well, then you had your
yeah, so, like, my sister was overprotective and, like, who are you dating? Who are you talking to? Where are you going? So, like, she was an extra mom.
Yeah. That makes sense. And then the last one, how do you feel about the recent Keke Palmer drama? So if you don't know what's going on, look it up. See what's going on with that. And you can let me know your take unless you want me to go first.
Oh, I mean, with the whole situation, I mean, from what it sounds like, is he has a problem with the dress that she was wearing at the Usher concert where he kind of serenaded her.
Right.
And it wasn't the action of being serenaded by the Usher. It was the dress, the outfit that she was wearing. Yeah. And my conflict with it is, one, Keke Palmer is a grown woman. Okay, she just gave birth to a baby and she looks amazing.
She does.
But also, like, it's not a scandalous dress by any means. It was very appropriate, in my opinion,
for the occasion.
For the occasion, for her age, for her body type, it was all appropriate.
And her status.
Yeah.
Because she's not an everyday person.
Yeah.
She's a celebrity.
She's going out. Like, I thought she looked really nice. So I feel like he was just more in his feelings about his insecurity more so than the dress, I think. But that was just him saying, well, mothers shouldn't dress like that. And I'm like, mothers should dress however they want to dress. It shouldn't be judged. Or say that their appearance or their way that they dress should reflect on their ability to parent.
Right. So, first of all, I agree with everything that you said. And me personally, if I'm using myself as an example, I have asked I was going to say husband, fiance, because I was my bachelor celebration, and I was picking outfits out for it, and I asked him permission to wear what I wore. I knew it was a little showy, so I was like, if you say no, I'll buy something else, I'll return this, but if you like it and you're okay with it because you're not going to be there with me, then I'll wear it. And not every woman is going to ask their man for permission. Not every woman is going to care at all, or some people may ask and like feel bad about the answer. If he would have told me no, I'd have been like, I get it. But he was like, yeah, that's fine. I was like, you sure? Going once, going twice? Said yes. And as his wife, I've asked permission to wear stuff because I'm not by any means like a super skimpy, exposing, type of woman. But first of all, it'd be hot, and sometimes you just want to wear shorter clothes. Yeah. And second of all, like, some days I might want to feel myself. I sit in the house, sweatpants, hair tied, no makeup on, every day.
Nice.
If I want to get cute, then I might be like, maybe I went a little too far, and he can be like, those shorts, absolutely not. Yeah. Or, whatever the case. And I respect it. One thing I will say, though, is he is my husband. I saw comments online about people saying, like, oh, his second, like, double down comment was like, oh, I expect such and such from my wife. And I'm like, skirt.
She's not your wife. You did not put a ring on that.
You did not. And first of all, if he did, maybe she wouldn't have done that. And even if he didn't, and they were still boyfriend and girlfriend, she might have still been like, either way, she might have done what she wanted to do. But you can't expect her to give you the treatment and, for lack of better phrasing, the respect that a husband deserves if you weren't her husband. Yeah. Not even her fiance.
I mean, but also how I look at it too is that she dressed the way she dresses. And if you met her and she dressed the way she dressed, then what makes you think she's supposed to change the way she dresses?
Right.
Just
like
because
mom jeans and cardigans for the rest of your life because you had a baby.
Yeah, no. Like, she's always dressed the way she dressed.
Yeah.
Whether it's dress down or dress up. Like, you can't change that. You
and
shouldn't.
Moms come in every shape, size, color, and decoration. Like tattoos, piercings, short clothes, long clothes. Like, and I love it. I mean, I won't say that I 100% agree or would do all of those things, but it's not for me to say.
Yeah.
It's your body,
but it goes
it's your
back
life.
to don't lose your identity as a woman.
Right. So. Which we did talk about before. Losing yourself, finding yourself all over again. I would say my style is a little bit different, but the overall, like, you know, how I try to feel when I dress is absolutely the same. My style is a little bit different though. Yeah.
I'm team Keke Palmer,
so. I'm team Keke Palmer as well. Confidently. Yes. So that was a pretty long intro. This is our first time having questions. Thank you guys for your questions, by the way. Yes. Getting into our topic, we're not crazy. So, again, do you want to start? You want me to start?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I totally can start. Okay. Everybody, and I'm going to say it. Everybody endures stress, endures a sense of depression, and will develop anxiety at some point, and it could be situational, but it does happen. Right. So, for me, I already had anxiety, I already had depression, but never knew. Prior to having kids, and didn't realize what was going on. I thought I was crazy.
Oh wow. We're not crazy.
We're not crazy. And then once I had my first, I thought I was having postpartum depression because of all the feelings I had, all the anxiety I was dealing with, you know, just as simple like nobody can touch her. No, you can't. No, no. I'm on it. Like the only person that can babysit her is X, Y, and Z. Nobody else can keep her for an hour. Like, no. Like, I just thought it was like postpartum and just motherhood, right? Yeah. But then around 26, I had my first manic episode. And that's when I had officially got diagnosed with major depressive disorder and generalized anxiety. Okay. So the motherhood part added fuel to the fire, but I was already dealing with those things. Yeah. So
totally understandable.
It's a mess.
Sucks.
So
I empathize.
Yeah, so I'm on medication for it. So for me, it was a chemical imbalancement. So it was hormonal as well, but it was mainly the chemical imbalancement that I was having.
Yeah, both. And honestly, you might have had chemical, hormonal, and situation.
Absolutely. Yeah. Trying to make sure that you can continue to provide for your children once you do have them and keep the household up and running and stuff like that. It all, those stressors add to it. And then the isolation from moving across the country, you know.
You left me.
I had no choice.
I know.
But moving across the country to be around people I didn't know. I didn't even know I was going to make friends or not while he was stationed in California. So
I hear so often too that, and this is no shade, it's just what I've heard, not what I've experienced, that military wives are crappy to have as friends. They like can be. If you want to have that experience with them, that they're like, I guess, off. But it could be tied to the fact that like, if your husband is active duty, they're always leaving and you're always having to change places and faces. Yeah. And like, I don't have time or mental capacity or the emotional capacity
to have a new friend,
try to make friends with you.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of, and then no shade to anybody who might be a spouse, is if it doesn't relate to you or doesn't describe you, like, don't feel any specific way about it. Yeah. But a lot of times, a lot of the wives, especially active duty, would be their husband's rank. So you're not making friends as an enlisted wife. You're not making friends with officer wives. That's a different species. Yeah. If your husband is like an E6, E7, you're not making friends as an E1, E2, whatever. Like it's a ranking system. This is a very ranking societal thing that comes with the territory, and you gotta be built for it.
I'm glad I don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, you gotta be built for it.